So the first one and the main use case we have in terms of transport is last mile deliveries. So of course, this obviously exploded during COVID. So more and more people were, instead of going out to get food, were ordering at home. Same for businesses. So this is why there was a huge growth in this market and a demand. And this market is quite specific because it's not the usual refrigerated trucks that you see often on the highway. It's in many cases very small vans or even cars that just have some boxes, and each box then is basically keeping the temperature at a certain level depending on the kind of box, the kind of what is inside, etc. And so this is why the need is completely different, and traditional solutions, for instance, which are integrated in the refrigerated truck with cables for this use case are much more hard to implement. And this is why our solution is actually very well adapted for this because of the way that you can have multiple loggers communicating with one hub, and you don't need any pairing between the logger and the hub, for instance. So this is so we already had this use case for a couple of years with some big customers in Europe and even in the US, but mostly in Europe. So the idea is you put the logger itself in the box in this case. So it can be a box for fresh temperature or with, for instance, dry ice for frozen temperature. So each box has a logger, and you can even associate the ID of the logger to the ID of the box so that you don't even forget about which logger it is you're monitoring. You just focus on the box. I'm monitoring this box, and you have the whole life cycle of the box. Then the good thing is that with the new Bluetooth loggers, not only can you connect them via the hubs, and the hubs can be either in the cabin of the truck or in the warehouse or both. But you can also now, with the new Bluetooth loggers, directly get the data without pairing from the cabin of the truck using a PDA or a smartphone. So this is the new evolution, but the principle is the same. Doing deliveries, each box has the logger that communicates the temperature. You can know in real time also derive location of each box because you know that this box is communicating either with this hub or with this PDA. So this is also a way to have the full tracking of the boxes. And finally, once the boxes are back in the warehouse, for instance, you can have inventory of the boxes. And this is actually a very interesting and important fact that sometimes maybe is overlooked, is that in many cases you can have multiple warehouses with the last mile distribution within a country. However, it might happen that you have too many boxes in one place and not enough in the other one. And then you have suddenly orders coming. And that's why most companies up until now are buying more boxes than they need to make sure that they would have enough to cover each load and each basically demand at each warehouse. And so to have this kind of real-time tracking of each box allows you also to have real-time inventory and thus adapt according to the needs much more fluidly, and thus in the end also save on buying too much equipment for what you need.